Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be starting a new what if, and this would be what if Itachi took Naruto and Sasuke. So there's going to be some changes. So on the way back to the for starters, Naruto and Sasuke are going to be like damn near best friends, and Naruto's gonna know like his pops and everything, cause like Naruto goes over there all the time because all he has to eat at his house is ramen, and Sasuke's mom didn't like that, and since Sasuke's mom didn't like that, she kept complaining about it until the dad agreed, and the dad found out that was Minato's son. So Naruto found out way earlier in camp, like way earlier, that he was the son of the fourth, and Sasuke just thought like that's probably why he's somewhat always like striving to be stronger. So Naruto and Sasuke would be training, and on the way back from like the school grounds, like they're training, basically they're running, like they're racing back to like the Uchiha compound. So they're running back, and they get there. Naruto's saying like that's not fair because Sasuke has better chakra control than him, so obviously he was gonna be able to get there first. And Sasuke tells him to like be quiet, and they both be quiet, and they realize like this isn't like the Uchiha compound is never this quiet. There's always somebody like being loud or training somewhere off into the distance. So they get in there, they notice blood. So the first thing that they do, because they've been training for a minute. We're going to say they've been training since, like, they were 4. Like, that's when Naruto and Sasuke actually, like, met each other. Like, they were just out on... Naruto was just out in the woods, like, where he was supposed to meet with Hiruzen. We're going to say he met Itachi. Then Itachi took Naruto back to his house, which is where he met Sasuke. And him and Sasuke kind of hit it off, so all they did was train when Itachi wasn't able to train them both. So we're gonna say they use the body flicker. Like they're literally mini prodigies, like baby Itachi's damn near. So they let me stop. They use a body flicker to get to Sasuke's house. They notice like, okay, so first we're not gonna say Itachi doesn't use hatred, because we're not gonna say Itachi was the one who killed him. We're gonna say Obito killed his parents, and Itachi had a plan to so Obito was gonna kill their parents. Itachi was gonna run in there, grab them. The only downside is Obito wouldn't be able to join the Akatsuki, and that's for later on, as you can clearly see in the picture. So Naruto and Sasuke run, like they get grabbed by Itachi and they run off. Now we're gonna they got put inside of a genjutsu, so Itachi could just walk in there and take them, basically, because Obito didn't feel like killing the thing that he needed the most, which is a Nine Tails, and Obito also didn't feel like killing Sasuke, because that would mean, not saying like he would have to answer to Itachi, but he didn't want to have to hear Itachi's mouth. But obviously, he would have to answer to Itachi. So, we're gonna do a time how old were they when they got into 12? We're gonna do a time skip to right before the tuning exams. So okay, so let me get something straight. So on Team 7, it's Sai and some extra, I'm gonna say. He's Team 7 only has 2 people. It's just like in the what's the name? It's gonna be Kakashi, Sakura, and Sai. And since Sai is way younger, he got put into the Anbu, but he wasn't as jacked up as he was in canon. So everyone hears what happens, And the Hidden Leaf, like, they're like, we cannot let this get out. Like, we cannot let them know, like, the Nine Tails, the strongest tailed beast, is out of our own village. Because that means any village could just run up and steal Naruto and have two-tailed beasts. And not only two, but the strongest tailed beast. So, you know, but Itachi, Big Brains, 300 IQ, he sends a note to the third saying that I have Itachi, not Itachi, I have Sasuke and Naruto. And, like, the third was finna send Anbu after him, but, like, they realized that if he killed his entire clan, there's a pretty high chance he would have the Mangekyo Sharingan. So, sending Anbu after him will literally just be wasting men. Like, you're basically sending them to their deaths. So, okay. So, after, like, I'm gonna say, like, a couple of weeks after he gets that note, we're gonna say, like, the Naruto and Sasuke wake up. And the first thing that they do is, like, they get on guard. And then they notice Itachi and, like this really weird red cloak thing, and they're like surrounded by people like that. So Naruto, being Naruto, was like, he's pretty happy to see Itachi. Sasuke is still pretty, you know, jacked up about it. And like Naruto runs, cause Naruto thinks it was a dream. So Naruto runs up and like tries to grab on to Itachi, but Itachi's not moving. And like Kisame grabs Naruto, and Naruto looks over and was like, "What the fuck are you?" Like, you have shark demon bastard. So Kisame, that's not obvious. Obviously, that's not what he said. He like thought that, but like, since they're still kids, Naruto looked at Kisame and started to cry, and Kisame was like, "What did I do?" And then Conan was like, "Well, obviously you look like a fucking half human shark demon thing, so obviously he would cry." And Pain was like, well, since you have so much to say, why don't you train the Nine Tails?" And Naruto stops, and so does Sasuke. Like, Sasuke just stops being like in his little shrug, and he turns, like, he hears what he said. And he looks over, and all he sees is this guy with orange hair and renegades. And so we're gonna say Pain isn't as, because they already had the Nine Tails in their possession, but we're gonna say somehow they found out about how Minato sealed the other half of the Nine Tails inside of him. So their main objective is to not get the Nine Tails out of Naruto, because Itachi wouldn't let that happen. We're gonna say they want the Nine Tails out of Minato, and they told Naruto this after they let him know that he was the Nine Tails. So Naruto agreed to this because if they extract the tail beast out of Minato, he's already dead. So like, the chances of him dying twice from getting a tail beast extracted from him is high because it's a tail beast. But it's not like they can't just resurrect him again, and Naruto just wants to see his dad. So Itachi goes off and trains with Sasuke, and for the first like few days, we're just gonna like say all Itachi did was put Sasuke inside of a genjutsu and basically made him watch his entire clan die like several fucking times. So then until he unlocked his third Tomoe Sharingan, and that's when Itachi started to train him. And we're gonna go back to the Hidden Leaf. So this is like I'm gonna say this is like the 2 day. This is like the week time skip between the Chunin exams. This is like the week before the Chunin exams. And yeah, so like Jiraiya's back into the village because he heard that Naruto's missing, and we're gonna say, what's her name? Fuck, I forgot her name. I'm gonna just call it 6 Hokage, because that's not 6. Wait, was she the 6 Hokage? No, she was the 5th Hokage. Yeah. Fuck, I forgot her. Tsunade, okay. So we're gonna say Tsunade was in the village because, Jiraiya asked a favor of her. And this was before Orochimaru asked a favor of her. So we're gonna say they were in the village. And Naruto and Sasuke at this point are like mid-genin, not genin level, but like mid-jonin level. Like they're god level. Naruto's talked to the tail beast several times. And in the span of those several times, the Nine Tails have slowly let him use some of his chakra. So now Naruto's eyes are constantly slit like red. Because Naruto made a deal with the Nine Tails. If, he wouldn't lash out and kill everyone, he can, relieve some of all of his fucking anger by letting Naruto use his abilities and power. So, in return, yeah, that's what happened. So, the Nine Tails taught Naruto how to use the Tail Beast Bomb without him taking control of him and using it for himself. So, Naruto kind of uses it like a, what the fuck is that thing called? Like a Rasengan. So, I say so a hell of a lot more than I thought I did. Anyway, Naruto and Sasuke obviously hear about the Chunin exams. So they start training real aggressively. And at this point in time, Konan can't even finish. Konan stopped training Naruto because of that fact. Like, she's able to use Tail Beast Bombs, not dissing Konan's abilities, because I low-key think Konan was fucking cold. But I don't think she's going to be able to defend herself against a fucking Tail Beast Bomb if all she can do is turn into fucking paper and disappear. I'm just saying. But she is cold, don't get me wrong. She's cold as fuck. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest. So at this point in time, Pain is training Naruto, which is a big ass upgrade. And through this, Naruto is like talking Pain away from his the world must know Pain shit. Because given Naruto wants to see his dad, he wants to extract the Tail Beast from him because he has a little bit more hatred for the village than he did in canon, a lot more, because of the fact that we're gonna say he used to get beat on a lot. And since he was hanging out with the Uchihas, he noticed how fucked up the village was. So it was more along the lines of bro, this is fucked up. So Naruto is talking Pain down from his whole world, the world must know Pain. So yeah. Then through the middle of their fight, Naruto we're gonna say the Nine Tails was talking to Naruto and was like, why don't you try to go into the fourth tail thing? And Naruto tries, and Naruto at this point in time has full control over the Nine Tails. Basically, the Nine Tails is letting him use his chakra, how, what's his name? Fuck. Like how Son Goku and that one dude was. They went into they went into that little weird red form. And, he had full control over it. But it's not like the little weird thing that Naruto gets when he's fighting, what is his name? Right after he gets out of that fountain and fights the Raikage with that little weird QB cloak thing. So, and don't worry, Naruto still gets that, just not right now. So at this point in time, Naruto is able to use a full 4 tails of the Nine Tails. So, okay, and Sasuke unlocked his Mangekyo, and he's not using it right now, and neither is Itachi, because I'm gonna have a way for both of them to stay alive. Well, for both of them to still have their Mangekyos, but yeah. So we're gonna say that Naruto and Sasuke hears about the Chunin exams, and they want to go because they want to see what all this is about. Now, mind you, Naruto still saves Hinata from the Naruto still saves Hinata from them bullies. And when Hinata heard that Naruto went missing, Hinata was like, I'm gonna get strong enough to go get Naruto from Obito or whoever the fuck captured him. Or from Sasuke's big brother, basically. So she's like, I'm gonna just get strong enough to save both of them. So at this point in time, she's been training literally since she was like fucking like little, damn near. So Neji and her are damn near on the same level. If not, Neji is just either a little bit stronger or a little bit weaker than her. So Naruto and Sasuke gets there, and Itachi bursts in a crow's to go talk to the third Hokage. So Naruto and Sasuke use transformation jutsus, but since Naruto's eyes are always fucking slit red, Sasuke's they telling him like, bro, eventually somebody is gonna notice that your eyes look like fucking demon eyes. And Naruto's like, that's alright, because if they find out, I'ma kill him. So Sasuke just scoffs and like, we should go get in like the tuning exam things. So Naruto heads off and he runs into Jiraiya, and Jiraiya immediately notices that it's Naruto. But Naruto notices this and uses some weird transformation thing to like he taps Jiraiya on the shoulder and tell him to come with him. That way he didn't make some big ass deal about the Nine Tails being back into the village. So they get like outside the village, like basically where the Uchiha compound used to be, and Naruto was like, you don't have to worry about me, Jiraiya, or should I say like stepfather or whatever. And Jiraiya was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm strong, like, come on now, I can use the Nine Tails power, me and the Nine Tails is chilling, and we with the Akatsuki. And when Jiraiya hears this, he's like, whoa, wait, you're with the Akatsuki? He's like, yeah, they've been training and taking care of me and Naruto and me and Sasuke. And Itachi is like nearby, so that way like don't nothing happen to Naruto. So yeah. But we're gonna flash over to Sasuke real quick. Sasuke sees cause we're gonna say, okay, so Sasuke doesn't look the way he looks right now. Like with his hair. We're gonna say he cut it or something like that to kind of like change his appearance, so he didn't have to walk around like a transformation. So he sees Tsunade, and he remembers what Itachi said about how Tsunade was like the greatest healer ever. So he taps Tsunade on the shoulder and put her ass under a genjutsu and takes her right out of the village. Like literally, he just in front of everybody. Like everybody just saw this. Like he taps Tsunade. Tsunade turns around, puts her under a genjutsu, puts her over the shoulder, and just walks out the village. And everyone's shocked and don't want to do anything because this is a legendary Sannin, and this little kid just put her on her ass. Literally. With the genjutsu, but yeah. So Itachi turns around and sees Sasuke with Tsunade on his shoulder, and he's like, what? Why? So Sasuke is like, well, I have someone that can help us. And Jiraiya like he can't sense their presence. Like they're gods at hiding their presence. And Naruto's like going on about how like we're gonna use the not Rene Rebirth, but like we're gonna use Orochimaru to resurrect my father, and we're gonna extract the tail beast out of him. But that's not what I'm going for. I just want to see my dad, and I'm trying to talk Pain out from like destroying everything. And Jiraiya gets this, basically like they're working from the inside. And Naruto, at this point in time, like they're still little, but like Naruto just kind of just body flickers away after telling him this. Like Jiraiya was like, wait, where did he go? And Naruto did like this little weird voice thing, like people aren't there but they can still talk to you. Naruto's like, well, I told you all I could tell you, but yeah, the next time you like find me, you might have to throw hands. Like, you might actually have to fight, because I'm not finna lead you back to where I live, and I for damn sure don't want you trying to kill none of my teachers. And Naruto body flickers on top of the tree, and Naruto sees Tsunade and is like, who's the old lady? And Itachi's like, fuck, let's just go. And they leave, and Tsunade wakes up inside the not the Uchiha compound, but like where the Akatsuki are, and she's like ready to fight. And she notices what she's surrounded by, and she's like, I don't want to anymore. Like, because she was like, we're gonna say all the 6 paths of pain was around her, and she saw the Rinnegan, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't know, nah, I'm good. And Itachi asks her a favor, and she realizes who Itachi is, and then she looks beside Itachi and sees Naruto and Sasuke. So she asks, yo, like, what's the favor? And he's like, can you heal me and my brother's eyes? And she lets him in if I don't, and Pain was like, you'll die. And Naruto's like, well, she won't die, Pain. We'll probably just throw her little ass into the village and make her seem like she's crazy. And Pain was like, that can work too. And Nagato, Nagato's sitting in like the little weird tree thing, like, bro, what the fuck am I finna do with this kid? And Conan was like, bro, y'all are fucking hilarious. and this is still an all-in-one day, basically, because they use body flicker. So they healed, so she ended up healing Sasuke's eyes. Like, they traded eyes already, so they both have the internal Mangekyo Sharingan. Well, yeah, because Itachi got to keep some of the Uchiha eyes, like he was supposed to be able to. So, like, yeah, they both got their internal Mangekyo Sharingans, and they so now they healed their eyes up. So then, like, they basically fucking threw her, like, literally did what Naruto did, like, just threw her back into the village, and then started walking toward the Chunin exam area. And like, since Naruto can't really change his hair color, he just cut it down, basically. No, he let it grow out. He didn't cut it down. He let it grow out. So his hair is a lot more wild than, like, in this. But that didn't stop Hinata. Hinata turns around, sees Naruto, immediately runs toward him. And she's, like, mid-tuning. Like, she's mid-tuning strength. Basically on the same level as, what's her name? So Naruto gets, at this point, it's not just Naruto, it's not just Itachi watch, it's the whole Akatsuki watching over Naruto and Sasuke. Because Pain not finna let nothing happen to his little, like, basically to someone he views as his little brother, which is Naruto. And if Naruto gets mad that Sasuke gets captured or hurt, Pain's gonna fucking blow the whole village up. So, yeah. And we don't want that. So, Sasuke turns around and puts her underneath a genjutsu before she can say anything. And by the time Neji could turn around, we're gonna say Neji and Hinata's bond was just a little bit, what's her name? A little bit better in this. So, when Neji turns around and notices this, before he can even do anything, he gets just over-fucking-whelmed with an insane amount of bloodlust coming from he doesn't even know where. He turns around and sees fucking Kisame right behind him. And Kisame is like, you do not want to do this. This is not something you want. And then they all just body flicker away. Like, at this point in time, everyone just notices, like, they're obviously not wearing the Akatsuki cloaks, but they're basically just running around in hoods and shit. And the only people that weren't was Naruto and Sasuke. Because there wasn't, like, nobody really knew that they left. Everybody just thought they got put inside of it, like, well, the people in their class knew that they got kidnapped, but everybody else like in the village thought they was just like in some insane training program. So they didn't like they just got outside the village this time. They didn't go all the way back to where they were before. So like Hinata wakes up and sees Kisame basically the same thing Tsunade saw, but this time it wasn't it wasn't the paths of pain. It was just Kisame and like all the basic ass people. So Deidara decides, oh, I'm gonna blur a little ass up. Naruto looks at Deidara and was like, the minute that I see one of them damn mouths of yours open, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna take this tail beast bomb, and he forms one and says, I'm gonna take this tail beast bomb and shove it in that mouth that's on your hand and blow it up. And Sasuke just forms fucking Chidori. Basically like, yeah, just forms a Chidori like, bro, I'm ready when you are. Like, we don't even, like, they basically just implied that they fuck with Deidara, but if Deidara do something stupid, they will earth Deidara. Like, they don't fuck with Deidara. And Deidara kind of, like, stops, and she, we're gonna say over the course, like, of him going missing, Hinata kind of got over her shyness. So she's like, Naruto, like, where'd you go? Why did you leave the village? And so Naruto basically starts not telling her everything, but telling her what she needs to know. And she's like, oh, well, can I join y'all? And like Naruto looks at Pain and was like, well, Pain was like, she is the Hyuga's rightful owner, basically, like the first in line to take control over the Hyuga clan. And Naruto was like, I don't care about the fucking Hyuga clan. They got Neji. Whatever they think of him. And Pain was like, you're not wrong. And Pain was like, we'll think about it, but you can tell no one. And basically, yeah. So they put her, they get her back into the village. And now that she knows that Naruto's safe, she's a lot more relaxed. And knowing that Naruto's gonna watch the Chunin exams. But little do they know, Naruto and Sasuke are going to be participating because we're going to say, like, Itachi talked the third Hokage into, like, letting them participate. And Tsunade, knowing that they're in the village, is fucking freaking out because, like, the Akatsuki are here. And she tells Jiraiya, and Jiraiya just literally fucking just shrugs it off because he's still in shock that fucking Naruto literally just said if the next time that they they see each other, if he expects to get in his way, he will be throwing hands with the full force of the Akatsuki. And he tells the third this, and the third was like, yeah, I've been on that thing with the Akatsuki. I didn't want to tell y'all because I didn't want y'all to go do something stupid and get yourselves killed. And they both look at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya was like, what? I'm stronger than them. I'm stronger than them, no. He was like, no, you're really not. Like, you're strong, but you're not finna be able to fight 6 niggas with the Rinnegan. And immediately when he says that, basically, Jiraiya was like, wait, you said Rinnegan? I'm like, I think I know who that is. And Tsunade was like, yeah, you do. Okay? But you're not finna go over there and, like, try to change his mind or anything because you're gonna die. And, like, the Chunin exams start, and, like, the first people up was, like, we're just gonna skip, like, the main fights. So, we're gonna change it up a bit. So, Hinata and Neji still fight. Neji does still get the best of Hinata, but since, like, Neji's a little pissed off that, like, she let herself get captured, he's basically trying to, like, end her existence, kind of like how he did in canon. And since Naruto and Sasuke were never really in the village, we're gonna say, Kisame was in there spectating them. Kisame and Itachi was in there spectating them, and anybody that caught them looking or noticed them, they got put under a genjutsu by Sasuke or Itachi. Kisame looks at Naruto, and Naruto's eyes like fucking slit damn near, like slit more than usual. And Naruto just appears down there in like the foretell state and has Neji's face in the floor, like, bro, if we fight, you will die. Like, I'm going to kill you. Just how you used to kill her, you're going to die. And Hinata sees this and tells Naruto not to kill him. And she's like, don't kill him. Just beat his ass, but don't kill him. And Naruto goes out of his cloak state. And everyone notices this. Like, this is the Nine Tails. Where was he for like the past year? And Orochimaru senses the Nine Tails chakra and was like, wait a second. The four-tail version of it? Like, basically, like, bro, how does he have this much control over the Nine Tails? And then Itachi noted, like, senses Orochimaru, but doesn't say anything. Then Sasuke jumps down there, and almost immediately, Sakura immediately notices that that's Sasuke, and was like, Naruto, you did a little too much. And Sasuke asks, like, Naruto asks, like, do you think they're gonna try to do anything? And Naruto's like, they can't even do anything even if they wanted to. And Naruto laughs and goes and jumps back into the stands. And I don't know who the fuck Kiba fought. Did Kiba fight Naruto? Fuck it, in this one we're gonna say Kiba fought Naruto. And Lee fought Sasuke. Gaara's gonna come into play later. So Naruto kinda like gets in a match with Kiba, and Kiba was like, well, you might have like four tails or whatever, or like control over something, I don't really care. Basically, Kiba was just dissing Naruto. And as soon as they said begin, Naruto literally fucking grabbed Kiba's face and threw it into the floor. And Kiba wasn't even able to react. And Nakamaru was just baffled. He was like, this is beyond me. So yeah. And like, he just gave up. Because like the amount of pressure that Naruto was, like the amount of bloodlust that Naruto was releasing was just dangerous. And Hisame was like, that's my boy. And Itachi looks over at him like, you really shouldn't have taught him how to release bloodlust. And Kisame looks back over like, bro, that's like the coolest part of him right now. You can't even lie and say it's not. And Itachi just looks away. And he's like, and Kisame was like, yeah. So like Lee and Sasuke fight, but before Sasuke fights, he makes something known to like damn near everybody in there. Basically everybody that was in like their class and everything in between. He was like, well, see, we're leaving the village. Like, not leaving the village, but like, we weren't in the village and we're not planning on coming back, but we will protect the village. And everyone take like Guy is like, what do they mean? And Kakashi like was like, wait a second. They were going, I thought they joined the ambush and like some shit like that. I was trying to get them out of there. And Itachi looks over and sees Kakashi, and Kakashi looks up and notices Itachi. And Itachi kind of gestures his eyes to like look like we're going over here now. And Itachi tells Kisame to stay vigilant. He's gonna go have a chat with someone. And that's what they do. And when Itachi's talking to what is his name again? I literally just said his name. When Itachi's talking to Kakashi, he like lets him know what they're doing. And at this point in time, Kakashi was like, I didn't even think Naruto was smart enough to try to do that from the inside, nonetheless. And he was like, yeah, and while they're doing that, they're training him to get controls of the Nine Tails as well. And Naruto, like, Kakashi was like, well, so that's how he was able to use Four Tails and not damn near destroy the whole village. But Four Tails is a little extra for a little ass kid. And Itachi's like, no, it's not. It's really not. You have no idea what he is capable of. And Itachi was like, yeah, that's what Itachi said. And Kakashi's listen, well, if he's saying that, like, what do you mean, bro? So then, like, they go back into the thing, and, like, now Kakashi's baffled. He's like, bro, so Naruto is way stronger than what we think, and Sasuke is probably already, like, yeah, so, no. We're not, no. So Guy was like, so do you want to try to stop them from leaving the village? And Kakashi was like, it's not a good idea. And Kakashi kind of, like, tells, like, Guy, like, bro, there's some, like, they have the whole village damn near surrounded. And Guy started to, like, get, like, all ninja quiet and shit like that. I was like, so what do you want to do? And he was like, well, at this point in time, we can't really do anything because they have the village surrounded, and if they wanted to, they can blow up the whole fucking village. But their only objective is to keep Naruto and Sasuke safe, so we should be relatively fine. Now, Orochimaru doesn't know that Naruto and Sasuke are this strong, and he for damn sure doesn't know that the Akatsuki are watching over Naruto and Sasuke. Mostly Sasuke, because he still want that Uchiha body. But see, what I never understood, if he wanted the Uchiha, like, if he wanted to have the Sharingan, why couldn't he just, like, kill somebody, take their Sharingan? Yeah, I never understood that, but okay. Or, like, just kidnap one of the childs before the entire clan got fucking massacred. But yeah, you pick your death wish. So, yeah, nor did the hidden sand. So, like, we're gonna skip basic, like, okay, so Lee took off his weights, and, like, when he went to go rush toward, Sasuke literally put this thing under a genjutsu. He put him under a genjutsu, took him out the genjutsu, and had a kunai to his neck, and was like, you do not want to move, this is not what you want. And they call it there, like, that was a match, and and Guy was like, this is beyond me. How did he even see you moving? and Gar was like, oh, I want to fight the Tail Beast Kid. And, yeah, like, Gar basically was like, well, yeah. And we're going to say Gar fought Tenten and did Tenten hella dirty. Tried to, like, kill her. And Naruto, not Naruto, but Sasuke put his ass under Genjutsu. Right before he, like, did anything, and Naruto walked down there and grabbed Tenten, like, by whatever the fuck piece of arm that was, basically, because Tenten got her arm broken. And by Gaara's sand, because she tried to hit him with something, and, like, yeah, he broke her arm. And he kind of, like, tells Tenten, are you good, fam? And she's like, yeah, kind of. And she's still kind of, because, like, he's grabbing her broken arm. Because at this point, like, Naruto, he doesn't really care for the safety of people that he don't know. But he cares for their safety nonetheless. Like, he doesn't want them to just outright die because he doesn't know them. So, Naruto's like, well, see, I'm going to do something. It might hurt, but it's going to help you. He turns into the Four-Tail state, and then, like, the chakra from the Four-Tail state kind of engulfs her. Basically, this is a new type of healing technique that Naruto learned. Because the Nine Tails taught it to him, and that's how he was able to, like, he kind of healed the original version of Nagato a little bit, so that way he's not, you know, skin and fucking bones, basically. And he doesn't have to sit in that tree thing anymore. He can walk around, but he's not, like, always around because he has, like, the 6 paths of pain. Like, why would he need to move around if those guys are there? So, Naruto, like, everyone's, because, like, she's screaming, so, like, everyone's like, bro, we gotta stop this. And Kakashi looks over at Itachi, and Itachi basically gave him this eye gesture, like, bro, if you move, that I'm telling Pain to blow the village up. Simple. And the only person that's gonna survive is her, him, Naruto, Sasuke, and probably another Hyuga. And probably a Hyuga. It's basically like what he, in eye contact, he didn't tell him that one of the Hyugas were gonna survive because no one else knows that she's gonna be leaving the village. So, yeah. Naruto kinda, basically healed her. But what he didn't know was, like, when he healed her, he replenished her chakra too. Like, he gave her some chakra, basically. Like, she's able to use chakra way better now. So, yeah. And we're gonna say she had Earth release, and then she made her own release, which was Metal release. And, like, yeah, she's gonna have Metal release. So, when Naruto basically walks off, and she's like, wait, you're the Nine Tails, right? And Naruto stops and looks at her with the most angriest look ever. And he's like, yeah, what you gonna say, I should have died? Or some shit like that. And she was like, no, I was gonna say thank you for healing me. But if you want to be a dick about it, yeah, sure. And she walks off. And Naruto, like, he's like, bro, that's like the first person besides Hinata to be nice in the village. And, like, basically word gets around, like, the Nine Tails is back. And everyone just starts to get angry because they thought that they got rid of the Nine Tails. So, like, right before the major exam thing happened, we're going to say it was a day in between. Yeah, like, the 2-day, like, time skip thing that they did in between those 2 days. We're going to say Naruto and Sasuke stayed in the village. But the village was, like, always getting watched by the Akatsuki. Like, sometimes you see a big-ass clay bird flying over the village. But they couldn't do anything because if they touched the clay bird, fucking Pain was going to destroy the village and take Naruto and Sasuke and get out of there. So, Naruto, Naruto was talking to Hinata, and Neji sees this and walks over there. Like, Neji was in the, Naruto was talking to Hinata in her hospital bed, and Neji walks in there and sees this, and he's like, and he activates his Byakugan and tries to sneak up on Naruto. And Naruto turns around, and it was like, if you come any closer, you will be going through this door. Like, you will be going through this wall. And Neji, thinking like that Four Tails thing is just a one-time thing, still walks over there and literally does as Naruto said. It gets flung through a fucking wall. And like some Genin and stuff rush over there, and Naruto was like, bro, you should have just listened. Now I'm really finna have to kill you. And Sasuke jumps down and grabs Naruto on the shoulder and was like, bro, come on, you can't be killing him before y'all fight. And Itachi kind of, like, Kisame kind of walks up and was like, he should be fine. Naruto's like, I got him. And he turns into the Four Tails thing and heals him. But he doesn't give him any chakra. Like, Naruto has the option of giving them chakra. Like, yeah, Naruto has that option. So, Naruto kind of, like, walks off. And Neji's fucking pissed. So he goes and he, like, learns a whole bunch, like, the Hyuga's forbidden shit, like the 8 trigrams rotation shit. Yeah. So Naruto also heals Hinata. And, like, so Hinata, like, gets up. Because, basically, like, when Neji was walking in, Hinata was getting healed. Which is also why Neji was so keen on stopping him. Because he didn't know if that was going to kill her or anything like that. But, yeah. So, she got up out the hospital bed and started running, like, after Naruto, basically. And Naruto just vanishes, like, into the crowd, basically. like the people like that were literally telling him he should have died a long time ago. He just vanished into them, and no one really knew where the fuck he was or where he went. And Pain was like they get outside, like Naruto gets outside the village, and a small tear drops from his eye. I don't know how the fuck. Oh my god! Like a small tear drops from his eye, and he was like, I didn't think. He was like, Pain was like, you just want me to blow up the village, and Naruto was like, I didn't even think that their things was like their insults will still hurt me. Then Jiraiya appears, and Pain immediately notices Jiraiya, and he fucking body flickers away just almost immediately. Then like Naruto's like, what did I tell you, bro? Like, I literally recall me saying that the next time we meet, if you try to get in my way, we're gonna be throwing hands. And Jiraiya was like, no, I just want to teach you something. And Naruto was like, oh yeah, now what would that be? And he was like, Sage Mode. And Naruto gets interested in this, and he allows, like, he basically tells Itachi that he's gonna go with Jiraiya, but if anything goes wrong, you know how to get to him. And basically what that means is Naruto created a seal, like, cause like we're gonna say Conan went to the Uzumaki compound and found like a whole bunch of like old scrolls and shit for Naruto to learn from, and Naruto knows how to use the chakra chains and stuff. So, but they're not as good as like the full-blooded Uzumaki chakra chains. Like, they're not as strong. So, what time is it? Oh shit, that's why he called me. Naruto kind of like created this seal that like is basically like a tracking, and he basically put it on all the what's the names? That way he would be able to find them and they would be able to find him. And like it's all in like the seal, it's like all in the palm of their hands, and if they're like really in trouble, it's almost like it's like the reverse version of the Flying Raijin. Kind of like it's like a version of the Flying Raijin. Like if they're in trouble enough, like they can basically like say they want to go to them, and they'll just immediately teleport to them. So basically it's like a group Flying Raijin. So Naruto kind of yeah, so he places one on Jiraiya and tells Jiraiya what it is. And Jiraiya's like, that should come in useful, you know, you're just like your father. And Naruto's like, no, I'm nothing like the fourth Hokage. And he's like shocked, and like Jiraiya was like, how do you know about, like, how do you know? And he's like, oh, Itachi told me. And he was like, so do you know why Itachi did everything he did? And Naruto's eyes go slit like, and he's like, because of him. And he was like, who? And Danzo starts like walking out, and Itachi just immediately appears, like just basically off instinct, and so does Sasuke, and basically the entire, what's the name? Like the entire Akatsuki, and a couple of Anbu appear, but they were like, Danzo's like, well, guess we could throw hands, and Naruto basically makes a big ass tail beast bomb and shoots it at him, and he like all the Anbu basically grab him and just leave, and Danzo's pretty pissed, but the Anbu was like, bro, if we fight them, we're gonna lose. Like, they have two like Gekyo Sharingans, one Rinnegan, one of the swordsmen, one very weird fucking Kenkai Genkai with paper, another Kenkai Genkai with explosions, a puppet master dude, and like the fucking nine-tailed fox, all in one area. We're gonna lose that fight. And they have two people that's basically fucking immortal. We're gonna lose that fight. And Danzo, knowing this, like thinking about it, he realizes like, yeah, that was a fucking terrible ass idea. And Itachi and Sasuke was like, well, we should go and like kill him now. And Jiraiya kind of turns around like, oh, like, hey, you guys. And, like, they were like, yeah, no. And they just all vanish. And Naruto, like, you're supposed to be teaching me Sage Mode. And Naruto also gets taught the Rasengan. And he learns that within the span of, like, a couple of hours. And he also knows the Shadow Clone Jutsu. So, Naruto, like, they get to Mount Nyaboku. Naruto starts learning Sage Mode. And in the middle of learning Sage Mode, he kind of gets, like, this weird glimpse of something. And he sees it. And he thinks about it. And he falls off the thing. And, like, the frog, like, Jiraiya asks him, is he okay? And that's how I'm going to be ending this part off. Let me know if y'all like this. Should I continue it? Anyway, yep, I'll see you all later.